So you're coming back to Marvel Snap. Okay, listen, the game has changed a lot more than you may have realized. Look, the shop is different, the bundles are different, the meta shifts are completely different, and the last thing I want you to do is waste your resources. So instead of losing cubes, let's figure out a way to not fall behind. I've already tested the new systems, I've tracked the data, and now I'm gonna break down for you the 15 biggest mistakes that returning players make and how to avoid them. Even if you're making 2 of these mistakes, you're probably throwing away value. So let's fix that. Mistake number 1, ignoring snap packs and the changes out of the spotlight system. Look, the new snap pack system is the single biggest change to the game and all card acquisition in regards to it. So just opening those packs blindly is absolutely going to feel fantastic. You're going to get that dopamine hit, but it's a trap. So please be careful. You have to understand the new cadence of the releases, of how the cards come on out, and I don't want you to burn through your resources. So take the time, take a few minutes, learn how the snap pack system works before you start ripping open new cards, because you're going to get catch-up mechanics at the same time. So just be careful with the snap pack system, because you might have potentially months of lost progress all gone in a matter of minutes. Mistake number 2, buying random bundles without value math. I mean, bundles are a big trap in and of themselves. Sometimes it's great to get awesome value out of them. Sometimes they have incredible variance, and the art in this game, as always, has been amazing and continues to be. But you got to be careful with where the value in the bundle actually lies. Is it because it has a ridiculous amount of boosters? Is it great currency? Is it exclusive cards that, like Series 5 cards that you may not have? You really got to figure out how it's going to be best for your collection. So it might be a shiny variant. That's great, but if you're trying to catch back up as a returning player, that's not necessarily the direction you want to go. It's about efficiency and focusing on how to use those resources in a way that gets you to catch up to the current metagames. Easy rule of thumb is just look for the currencies within the bundle. Buy for the currency, and if the math or the ratio doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Or you can check out one of my bundle videos, and it's something we're testing on the channel as well. And I'll just do the math for you. Mistake number 3, blowing tokens on narrow Series 4 and 5 card traps. Look, OTAs are still happening. They're obviously always changing the game. The metas are constantly changing. So as you're recatching back up, you're going to see YouTube content. You're going to see people posting deck lists in Discords and on social media. And it's going to be tempting to want to get the card of the moment because of the deck of the moment. The last thing you want to do is lean into that, because in 2 weeks' time, it could be gone. So instead, focus your strategy towards some of the more versatile Series 4 and Series 5 tech cards first. Cards like Nico Minoru, for example, always jump out to me because it is one of the most versatile cards in the game. That's something you should focus on because you can plug and play it into a variety of different decks. So I've broken down those tier lists before for Series 4 and Series 5, but that's always changing as well. So take your time to figure out which tech cards you want to focus on first before going into some of the niche ones. Mistake number 4, over upgrading cosmetics and variants. I mean, shiny is shiny. We all like shiny things. We want the cool, awesome look in the game. Oh my God, there's this amazing $100 bundle with this exclusive variant and I want it. That's great. But you could have gotten just as much progression out of a $15 bundle because it has a better use of the resources. So keep an eye on that, because cosmetics will never help you climb the ladder. It'll make you look good, but you won't move through the collection the same way. Smart currency moves you through the ladder. Just be aware of that. Invest in the progress, not into the variance. Mistake number 5, bad energy curves. Too many 5s and 6s. So you want to maximize every drop of energy you can on every turn, if possible, or even if you're floating that energy, typically you're floating for a purpose. A card like Sunspot, for example, is great at that. So mid-game synergies that build out all of these momentums is great, but you need to know how you're finishing the match. Are you looking towards that big 6-drop like a Heimdall that's going to just move everything and activate it all? Or did you securely lock down a lane earlier that affords the flexibility of playing, you know, Galactus First Steps or Gore or Red Hulk or just a big 6-drop because it's a powerhouse? So don't get too caught in the whole, I have to have a 6, but I have to have all the options to make sure I have the 6. So I got to have at least 3 of them in here because that's my final turn play. Invest into the curve, not into the card. Mistake number 6, forgetting tech slots. It's amazing how people will come back into the game and they'll just throw a bunch of really cool or really powerful cards to make certain synergy type things happen, and then they forget how to interact with their opponent. Not all decks are meant to be greedy. There needs to be some kind of game plan to combat what your opponent's doing. For example, Cosmo. Cosmo is smaller than Galactus, but it shuts it down, right? So, you know, Shang-Chi, of course, Killmonger, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, you know, all of these tech cards need to be thought of as you're building the deck, because going all in on just one game plan, sure, it can work to a certain degree, but if you really want to be competitive and get those wins and get those boosters to upgrade those cards and progress upwards too, you see the synergy of how this is all working? It all is connected. You want to invest into tech when you're deck building to rise the ranks faster. Mistake number 7, falling in love with one archetype. Look, I'm a Silver Surfer guy, right? It's not a bald thing, but I'm a Silver Surfer guy, and I love that people have favorites. You know, I know people who are all in on Destroy or all in on Discard or Pixie, or it's Galactus. You know, everyone has an archetype style that they like to play. But if you go only all in on that when you're coming back to the game, because it's something you might be familiar with, for example, from your first time back in the game, or from another game even, you're really limiting how successful you're actually going to be with your favorite archetype. You need to know what not just the meta is, but how other decks in the game also work too. So as you're building your collection, if you happen to unlock a couple of cards that open a deck that you've never played before, or End of Turn, which is a newer archetype in the game, you've got that ability to now play that deck. Take the time to invest into that deck, because the only way to truly know how to beat it is by playing it. Mistake number 8, chasing YouTube social media OP lists without testing. Now, this one seems a little weird to talk about because I'm one of those people that posts decks that did well for me. I'm a content creator. But as a consumer, you got to look at it through this lens. As you look at the deck, did the player pilot the deck, or did the deck pilot the player? Is the deck organically going to do what it wants to do, no matter who's basically running it? Or is it an incredibly intricate deck that person knows how to play that archetype or that build incredibly well, and it's a one-off on being able to make it work? So when you look at these lists that even myself will post out there, you need to assess, is this a deck for you? Is it something that is in your comfort zone to actually operate as you come back to the game? If not, lean into that comfort zone first, and as you start to see this deck more on ladder, you unlock the cards for this deck more and more, then you'll start to maybe experiment with it more and more to decide, is this a new favorite, or is this something that you just need to know to take your favorite up against it? Believe me when I say the last thing you want to be is on my highlight reel. Mistake number 9, skipping Series 3 staples. So you're coming back to the game and there's new Series 3 cards out there, or there's just ones that you never had the chance to unlock the first time. But oh my gosh, this amazing new card came out and I've got to use 6,000 tokens to get it. Yes and no. Yes, it is great to have those new toys, but don't skip over the staples. You need to focus on gaining your collection, getting all of the cards that allow you the flexibility to try different archetypes and also succeed playing those archetypes. Because opting for Mercury is great, but if you don't even have a Shang-Chi in your collection, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit there. So take your time. Don't skip over the bedrock of your collection. Mistake number 10, snapping too late or not retreating early enough. Okay, so math is hard. I mean, we all hate doing math, but at the same time, if you really want to climb those ranks fast, here's a quick little TLDR version of how to look at Snap like poker, and think of it like this, okay? You have a 2 cube, a 4 cube, and an 8 cube win scenario. Assign these numbers to them. There's a 25% risk, a 50% risk, and a 75% risk. So if you going into that match, you know that you've got to win the 50-50. If there's only 2 cubes on the line, that's a 25% risk play for a 50-50 chance. You're actually in the good. Go ahead and invest those 2 cubes into that chance. If it's for 4 cubes, now it's kind of breaking even. Now it's your call. But if it's for 8 cubes on a 50-50, that's 75% risk versus a literal 50-50%. So you've got to assess the math of your situation to figure out how to invest your cubes, because if you can do that math on those final turns, you'll actually end up cube positive with more retreats. Even if you're retreating for 4, you're going to end up cube positive, which means you're going to climb the ladder. Mistake number 11, not counting your opponent's range. Now, what does your opponent's range actually mean? It's what can the deck do on that final turn specifically when you're trying to decipher, can I get over the hump of that lane? Can I outdo the range of what their deck wants to do in that lane with that card? So a good example of this is something like Shang-Chi, right? Do they run Shang-Chi in their deck? That's something that you should be thinking about going into turn 6. If it's a discard deck, not very common to see. If it's a tech-focused deck, there's a very good chance that they have Shang-Chi in their hand, and you got to think of that power swing, whether it's something like that, or again, Cosmo, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Shadow King, Killmonger that removes your 1-drops as you're playing your Zoo deck. These are all things you need to consider to figure out what the shift is, because if you don't figure out the range of what their deck can do, you're going to lose the games that you could have either retreated or possibly even won. Mistake number 12, telegraphing your line. Things like the obvious Wong combo. So at the lower ranks, sure, just spam the combos. It's absolutely fine. No one's going to get mad at you for playing Wong into White Tiger into Odin. It's fine. But as you climb the ranks, though, you're really putting out a telegraphed final play. You know, as the opponent, oh, they played this, chances are they're also about to play this, and it's much easier for them to combat your strategy. So your deck building, your choices, not the final turn choices, but the options you have for the final turn also need to start changing. So building that flexibility going into the final turn is incredibly important, so you don't completely telegraph that line and constantly feel like you're in the positive up until turn 6, and then you're in the red. Mistake number 13, not checking meta snapshots before laddering. Look, you know, you've played the game before, most likely. The meta is constantly changing. So the last thing you want to do is just queue into the meta blindly when you've got things like Snap.fan, Marvel Snap Zone, Untapped.gg, and more out there. There's tons of resources. My channel, you know, there's tons of things out there that'll let you know about what's going on in the game at any given moment. So take the 2 minutes, invest the time, take a look at what's popular, so you have a good idea of what you're most likely to go up against, so you can prepare for it, whether you want to counter it, you want to play it as well, you want to go up against it, tit for tat. It's up to you to figure out how you want to do this, because it is literally free MMR. Mistake number 14, ignoring the community resources. When you're returning, the fastest way, honestly, is just talk. Talk to people. Go into the different communities. Yes, this means Discord, Reddit, social media, but finding the places that you feel comfortable, that you feel safe, that you feel like you can use your voice and not have your voice thrown back at you. Find the people that want to have a conversation with you about the thing you're clearly passionate about, because you're wanting to talk to people about it and they want to talk to you just as equally. So take your time and go into those different Discords, different resources where you can have a conversation to learn about what's happening in the world of Marvel Snap, and you'll be much more grounded going back in. Remember, they've done all that testing for you while you were gone, so just listen. Mistake number 15, trusting single source advice without cross-checking. look, as much as I would love to say you only should watch my channel, I will never tell you that. You should go watch other creators. You should go to other Discords. You should go to other social media platforms. You should go to other places to interact with content and find new creators. Watch a couple videos of them, learn their styles, and then figure out, is that someone that you want to have a conversation with? Whether it's leaving a comment down below, going to their live stream, retweeting something that they did. And we don't even retweet, repost, whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Like, interacting with the community of creators simultaneously is really important. So find those places where you can not just be a viewer, you can be a member of a community. Because look, the big name macro creators, they're great, but the micro creators that you might not have seen the first time, invest a little time trying them out. Figure out if their day-to-day activity actually resonates with you as someone who's coming back into the game. So you're gonna find people that a lot of people know, and you're gonna find people that not a lot of people know. The more important thing is finding people that you feel comfortable talking Marvel Snap with. So I invite you to spread your wings and find content in a variety of different resources, maybe after me. So there you have it. And the 15 mistakes that most new players will make when they come back to Marvel Snap. And if you avoid these, you're gonna save yourself a bunch of headache, you're gonna save yourself a bunch of resources, and you're gonna climb a lot smarter. Now, if you did just come back to the game and you just found this video, which of those mistakes did you make? Or which one are you now more conscious of if you're about to come back to the game because now you feel ready to? Let me know down in the comments below. Let's have that conversation down here with our community, the guest list. We're here for you. Don't worry, I'll be reading and replying. So thank you very much, everybody. And as always, see you next time.